Water, they say, is life. Without it, we are all restless. But an overflow of water onto a normally dry land, commonly referred to as flood, has killed and destroyed many. The Accra Resilience Strategy document reviews flooding has been a critical threat to the national capital's resilience. Between the year 2000 and 2012, the document compiled by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly shows 83 lives were lost to floods. More than 170,000 persons were displaced, with damages approximated at $43.7 million. The mother of all floods in Accra occurred in 2015, the twin disaster of fire and floods that claimed 150 lives and affected approximately 52,000 people in a day at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle. The latest statistic is a tragic death of a toddler and a middle-aged woman and 2 others in a region hardly known for flooding, the Ashanti region, after days of rainfall.
Munzusunko na dia na momalo kwani mako na dia na mu yodura la hajo.
Clogging natural and man-made water drainage systems with solid waste has been identified as the main cause of flooding. In this report, I focus on the Densu Delta or Pambros, a natural water drainage system designated as an internationally important wetland where migratory birds thrive. This area, which should be holding upstream and rainwater, has now become a fertile ground for private and real estate developers.
I would say about maybe 20 or more years ago, we never had any serious flooding. If Pambros should flood, then it should take some extreme kind of rainfall for us to have the place flooded, because we had the wetlands and they were able to hold on to the rainwater and then slowly release it into the Densu. So that was keeping everything in check. But over the past few years, we've seen quite some aggressive kind of filling up of the wetlands. And because of this, now when it rains, it just takes a few hours of rain to have this place flooded.
The wetland has been protected over the years due to the salt mining activities of Pambros. But currently, as much as 17 acres of the wetland has been encroached, with the latest being the construction of a cement factory by a Chinese company.
I would say a broad spectrum of people. You have churches, you have people building up apartment blocks, and then quite recently we've had a Chinese company putting up a cement factory close to our production area. The salt will be contaminated from the cement dust. But this is Ghana for you, and all this is going on. It's not like we've not complained about it. We've written to the authorities, the municipal assembly. We've also written to EPA. We've also written to Ministry of Science and Environment. But they will not even respond to your letter, and it's rather sad.
The presence of reeds is evidence this area is a wetland, hence must be left uninhabited. But homes are springing up by the day. Some of the reeds are even taller than the houses being put up. Walls are falling and cracking, but it won't deter developers, some of whom acquired lands oblivious of the status of the area and pressured by the need to find roof over their heads. For others, a cheaper option and indiscipline leads them.
But first, this place was very horrible. It is waterlogged area, but now I think it's okay due to due to the feeling of this area and title of this area. I think we are very safe now.
Okay. So when you came here 13 years ago, how was this place like?
Oh, it was very terrible. It is very waterlogged. You can't even go out when it's rain. And it flood all over. You can't even go out.
Actually, maybe I have about 3 years. Now, maybe 2 years is you know. Yana issue to announce you know I went in Yamini Moya ya Philippa, but I say be a feeling her. To more feeling into no more pejapa, and you know, but see ye hono, ha. Test no many animal for plan, mobile debate, Umbessa, a feeling, come befaso.
It's a disaster in waiting.
There's a disaster, a flood disaster as we have it in these areas. NADMO would always come in to support and do what we have to do. But like I said earlier, NADMO is now very proactive. So we do not even wait for the disasters to occur. What we are doing now is doing sensitization, telling people about the preventive measures, preparing ourselves, etc. And so importantly, let's do the right thing so that we don't even have to be discussing these things, because some of these things, they are man-made disasters. They are not natural ones, so that NADMO can concentrate on the natural disasters and be more effective in that regard.
For these kids who have no choice but risk their lives walking on these perilous makeshift bridges when the rains are at their best, their lives and education remain at the mercy of policymakers who should act to give them both decent and safe homes.
Yes, when it rains, you suffer before you go to school. Sometimes we all antimeter, sometimes the bridge over here, we walk on it and we go to school.
Far-reaching solutions require drastic action, but academics who have researched into this situation for years say only a dedicated political will can avert the looming danger.
Currently, what should be done, per my own point of view, is the areas that, or the buildings that are actually on the waterways, first and foremost should be demolished. But then, you know, in this part of the country, it's very difficult to take such severe action. But that is one of the best things to do. Secondly, the dredging of the dam upstream, so that we can improve upon the water holding capacity. So the whole idea here is we have water coming into this wetland. Now the wetland has been compromised. The ecological integrity of this wetland is questionable now. The way it used to function in the past is no longer functioning like that now. So there's little water that comes in, flooding the entire area. But ideally, wetlands are supposed to actually prevent us against flood. So the dredging of the dam upstream, the demolition of the buildings that are not supposed to be here are two major things that can help us address the issue of flood.